Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It is Monday, November 17, 2014. I'm going to do a very quick earnings video, go over the earnings that we have this week. Earnings season is certainly winding down. We've seen some big moves, IBM and Apple and Google. But we're getting into the smaller names here, and I'll go over a couple. There's one trade that I'm really looking to get into this week that I'm not in yet, and I'll go over that at the end of this video. Stock futures are down a little bit. We have Urban Outfitters, I believe, after the bell today. Look at this pullback we have. You would say this is a nice bear flag, and we'll see the continuation if it does continue to fall. If it breaks here, we're looking at about 25, 22.50 on Urban Outfitters. Something to keep an eye on. Maybe I'll get some puts here. I'm not so sure. It was at $45 back in the start of 2013. Put in a nice head and shoulders topping pattern. Has been dwindling down to a brief pop up here and a collapse to support, long-term support here. If we can break below this level, we could open up the floodgates for more selling. But that's Urban Outfitters. Before the bell tomorrow will be Dick's Sporting Goods, which is confined in this beautiful channel here. Briefly broke below it a couple times, but looking for a move back over 50 bucks. I would possibly look to get into some calls here, but I was looking at the call contracts. They're already pricing in a nice move for Dick's Sporting Goods. So I'll probably just sit on the sidelines. We've seen it in the past. We got a big decline. Like we did back in the middle of 2014, middle of this year. We get a nice bounce back, so it's intraday reversal possibility. We have PetSmart, I believe. Yes, same thing. Breaking out of the channel, up almost near all-time record highs. You could make the case for some sort of topping pattern where we have a lower high, a brand new all-time high, and then another lower high, not breaking out above the all-time high, which would signify kind of an exhaustion. And we'll see if that's the case here. It looks pretty bullish to me, but something I'm not confident enough to trade. We have Lazy Boy, which possibly topping here, up against long-term resistance, trendline resistance, possible topping pattern, same kind of configuration there, where we have a lower high, a high, and a lower high, some sort of a head and shoulders pattern. So possibly a move down to 20. But again, not confident enough in that pattern. We have Schmuckers contained here. Nice decline that we saw. This is a 5-year weekly. So you can see over last week, a nice pullback over the last 60 days. We have the big gap down. So you would look possibly here is just, if you pull a line down, there's a beautiful bear flag, and 95 would be the target. So we're at 123. So if you look, I'm just going to pull up the option chain for you real quick. If you pull up SJM, and again, this is monthly options expiration week here, so we go to November, and we look at the hundreds, they're $1.60. I know it's right. The 95s are 50 by 65. So it's that's a big premium for a grape jelly seller. Let's look at Target, which has been on quite a tear. Now look at this break above long-term resistance. It's something that you don't want to fight. At the same time, you don't want to chase it. I don't know. It's in a tough spot here. I could certainly see it doing something like Macy's did, breaking out near record highs and then pulling back. It's going to be a timing kind of thing. And again, probably a reason why I'm going to stay away from it. Same with CRM. Look at it breaking out here. Although if you look at a short term, this is a weekly chart. Shorter term, you can see it here on the weekly. We're putting a nice bull flag in, and that would imply continuation to the upside. CRM, I was in these earnings for the last earnings report. I called the move, and it happened. It worked to fruition. It came to fruition. Worked. Look at this. You can see the move up. We had over 60 bucks. So it was nice to the call side. I don't know if I'm going to trade it again. At least this earnings time. This time around for earnings. Best Buy is off support. In this market where everything's going digital, brick and mortar companies somehow still doing pretty well. We saw that this is a big earnings decline here at the start of 2014. Nice recovery. The trend remains up. I don't know how you can fight this otherwise. Of course, you can trade for a pullback via puts, but it's not like a compelling kind of chart pattern where you're like, wow, here it is. This is the top. Same with Dollar Tree. Look at it breaking out here. Maybe it's rolling over here. But again, we'll watch it for earnings. GME's in this channel. So yeah, if you were going to trade for GME post earnings here, maybe a pullback. but it's certainly not something that's so compelling that I just got to get in there and get some options. Sears Holding is broken out. I mean, this is the breakout I was talking about. You remember back in the start of 2014, I was talking about the breakdown, and I said we'd find support here. We did, and we broke out in a big way. You know, there was Barron's talking about it this weekend, I believe. And look at this. This breakout, I don't know. I mean, this could be the start of a really mind-boggling move. Nobody thinks it's going to make that move. You know, that's what the charts are saying. I said it was going to break this line. It did, and oh well. Earnings report there on Thursday before the bell, and we'll see what that does for the stock. The last time it plunged at about 15-20%. Autodesk is breaking out. I'm pulling this is a 10-year monthly. If we get a little closer, don't be shy. You can see this long-term trend line here. We broke out above it. Autodesk looks primed for an upside. So upside move. If I was trading this for options, again, it's going to be priced. And if you look, Autodesk is priced for about a 9% move. So something I just want to stay away from, because if the stock is stagnant, you're just going to get mauled. Gap is reporting earnings after the bell on Thursday above long-term support here over the last couple trading sessions. But maybe we'll fill this gap, and maybe this gap, wouldn't that be ironic? If we do, wow, if we get up to 46, I'm not sure it's going to happen this earnings report, but you look, previous earnings reports seen really large move gaps to the upside. But again, I'm not going to trade it. I'm saying that a lot this morning. I apologize. Let's move to Intuit, which is at all-time record highs. Look at this. And then look at the consolidation we're having. Very bullish. Again, something I'm not going to trade. This is the one. This is it. You stayed to the end of the video. Ross Stores. Putting in a nice megaphone topping pattern. We could see a nice plunge down just based on the chart perspective. I've got no idea what Ross Stores does. They obviously sell something. But to me, this looks really poised for a nice breakdown. This is a megaphone topping pattern. And looking for a move down about 70. If you look, the 77.50s or $1.20, I'll be getting something like that this week. Hopefully it rallies. If it does break above this trend line, then that's going to be a problem. I might scale completely out of my puts. But as long as we stay below this trend line here, I'll be in some puts, and I'm looking for a move lower. This, all the charts I went through, this to me was the most compelling kind of put pattern. A lot of them are continuation patterns that look like they could head higher, but you never know in this environment. This is something that looks compelling here for a pullback. All right, you people here, OptionMillionaires.com. I'll let you know in the chat room via Option Millionaires private Twitter if I do get into any ROST puts. We'll have a great trading day, great trading week, and if I don't hear from you in a week and a half, have a happy Thanksgiving. Goodbye.